What if I told you that half of the chakra system has been erased from spiritual teachings for over 2,500 years? That an essential energy flow, one that brings wisdom, structure, and clarity, was deliberately erased from the spiritual vocabulary. This lost energy is the divine masculine, and without it, the matrix of the spiritual paths has been incomplete. The divine masculine is essential for those who walk the spiritual path of the heroine's journey. And when the divine masculine was forbidden, the heroine's journey was lost along with it. For centuries, we've been taught only half the truth. Modern spiritual teachings emphasize the divine feminine while ignoring the divine masculine. But ancient traditions understood that just as Father Sky nourishes the earth with rain that falls from above, the divine masculine descends through the chakras, bringing spiritual insight into physical reality. But why was this energy banned? When I first started studying spirituality, I had never even heard of the divine masculine. Every book I read, every teacher I followed, every practice I encountered was all about the divine feminine. No one ever mentioned the divine masculine. Now I have to admit that I was trying every single spiritual practice that I could find online, in the books that I was reading, and the spiritual teachers that I sat with. And in the midst of all this experimentation, I found a practice that was simply called the white light practice. It quickly became one of my favorite practices. I would imagine a white light above my head, slowly filling my body, chakra by chakra. And this practice became my anchor. It calmed my mind and left me feeling centered for the rest of the day. And then one day, I came across a book that changed everything. It was called The Secret of the Golden Flower. Now, this is an esoteric Buddhist and Taoist text. And to my surprise, it described the energy as flowing from the top of the head to the base of the spine, exactly like my meditation. I was so excited, I bought an extra copy to take to my meditation teacher. I was eager to share my discovery with him, but his reaction was not what I expected. He wouldn't even touch the book, and when it was time to leave, he picked it up gingerly, using only the very tips of his fingers, like it was dangerous. I was bewildered, but I let the matter drop. I was the student, he was the expert, so I just let it go. So for over a decade, I continued to study the different religions, and each time I shifted to a new spiritual tradition, I noticed something strange. The fundamental spiritual teachings changed, but over time I realized that they weren't random. There were two distinct sets of teachings. One was about love and compassion, and the other was about peace and clarity. And that was my clue. The chakra system wasn't just about one energy. It was made up of two. And I remember writing in big letters in my journal across the whole page, there are two energies. Now, my studies of ancient cultures also confirmed that there must be two energies. The ancient cultures required that there be both a high priest and a high priestess. And this verified that they followed two systems of spiritual development, two paths to enlightenment, one for men and one for women. So I started asking around about the divine masculine. It was like I became the bird in the Dr. Seuss book, "Are you my mother?" Except the repeating question that I asked was, do you know anything about the divine masculine? Or have you ever heard anything about the divine masculine? Most people responded that they had never heard of such a thing. And then there were a few that reacted as if I had spoken something forbidden, as if it was taboo. It wasn't till much later that I discovered the shocking truth. 2,500 years ago, the divine masculine had been banned, erased from common spiritual vocabulary. And the other thing was, Carl Jung himself had also banned that book, The Secret of the Golden Flower, for his students. You see, Jung was the son of a minister, and he was fully versed in the spiritual theology. So he was following the same ban that had been imposed over 2 millennia ago. And that's when I knew I had found the answer. The Ida and the Pingala were the carriers of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies. Both are essential. Yet for centuries, one had been erased. So let's put the puzzle of the missing energy together. In my studies, I found that the most common symbols of the divine masculine are water, rain, snow, light, and lightning. And in the ancient beliefs, rain was seen as pollinating the crops as a direct infusion of the divine masculine energy into the world. Now, the colors of the divine masculine are clear, white, and iridescent, and these colors mirror the symbols of rain, snow, and light. Now, other ancient symbolism include putting bread or cakes on the altar to the gods. These offerings were often called the flesh of Father God. They were also used in rituals to represent the nourishment of the divine masculine within the believer. Unlike the divine feminine, which flows upward and spins to the right, the divine masculine flows from the top of the head to the base of the spine, and it spins to the left, not in a negative sense, but as a force of physics where the opposites converge to create solid form. And this downward left-hand spin governs structure, clarity, and intellectual enlightenment. Science tells us that energy requires two forces to function, so the truth is undeniable. Since the chakra system is an energy system, it was always meant to have two energy flows. The divine feminine, which rises like fire and is associated with love, compassion, and intuition, and the divine masculine, descending like rain and water, linked to wisdom and clarity and focus. So the question becomes, why would anyone want to erase the divine masculine? Well, it all comes down to the spiritual paths. The purpose of a spiritual path to balance the energies within the soul or aura. The ancient civilizations believed that men were naturally endowed with the divine masculine and women were naturally endowed with the divine feminine. The spiritual paths represent the two ways to transformation, and this chart shows the complete spiritual matrix that is created when the system has two energies. The individual energies are on the vertical axis, and the divine energies are on the horizontal axis. When the energies are combined in the boxes, it shows that there are two paths of balance and two paths of unbalance. The hero's journey is for the masculine, left-brained, intellectual individual. This path initiates and strengthens the divine feminine with spiritual practices that cultivate the heart and compassion. And the heroine's journey is for feminine, right-brained individuals. This path initiates and strengthens the divine masculine with spiritual practices that focus the mind, which promote peace and clarity. But when an already masculine, right-brained intellectual person is initiated with the divine masculine, it creates an unbalanced energy that can become destructive. This unbalanced divine masculine manifests as the archetype of Lucifer, who is pure intellect without heart and devoid of empathy or compassion. So today we call this narcissism, psychopathy, and sociopathy. In ancient times, it was the archetype of the tyrannical, evil king who was filled with arrogance, had a lust for control, and ruled without compassion or caring for his subjects. Fearing the consequences of this imbalance, the ancient cultures categorized this energy as bad and erased the divine masculine from spiritual teachings. To further prevent any kind of disruption or imbalance, they enforced marriage as a safeguard, ensuring that both energies remained balanced within a household. Now, this chart shows what happened when the divine masculine was banned. As you can see, this suppression came at a cost. The path of Lucifer is not the only thing that would disappeared. The heroine's journey was also lost. Now, the heroine's journey belongs to those who are feminine, left-brained, creative types. They are already caring and compassionate by nature. The divine masculine gives structure, strategy, and focus to guide those who are naturally creative. So here are some practices that can help strengthen the divine masculine energy. Meditation practices that center on clarity of thought, discipline, and focus can help strengthen the divine masculine energy. Techniques such as breath awareness or visualization of the white light streaming through the crown and filling the body can enhance mental clarity and the ability to lead from a place of calm. Mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness in daily life helps you cultivate presence and objectivity. This practice is rooted in the ability to remain grounded and focused in the present moment, which is central to the energy of the divine masculine. Engaging in physical practices that require focus, discipline, and strength, such as the martial arts or ballet or dance, can activate the divine masculine. Setting clear, actionable goals and following through strengthens this energy. Whether in your personal or professional life, aligning your actions with your intentions creates the structure needed to manifest your desires. Finishing creative projects, whether it's home improvement, crafting, or just working with your hands to create something solid and lasting, strengthens the divine masculine energy. These practices invoke the creative force of manifestation, combined with discipline and structure. Affirmations of strength and confidence. And last but not least, Qigong and Tai Chi. These ancient practices balance the flow of energy through the body. As you can see, positive spiritual transformation comes from embracing and balancing both energies, not rejecting either one of them. Like the yin and yang of Taoism, the divine masculine and divine feminine must be integrated to create wholeness. It's time for creative and emotional personalities to reclaim this forbidden chakra energy and reinstate the heroine's journey. So I challenge you to pay attention to how energy moves in your life. Do you lead with creativity and emotion? When developing the divine masculine energy through mindfulness and focused practices may be the key to unlocking your highest potential. So thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you who want to dive deeper, grab a copy of my book, The Grail Path. It's now available on Amazon. And stay tuned for my upcoming book, Navigating the Chakras, is coming in September of 2025.